going because I can't.
Okay, go.
I'm ready? Hi everybody, Lori here from Unique in the Creek, and we're coming to you via tutorial video watch party. So today I'm going to be doing the infamous tulip wreath. It's quite the craze, and it could be quite expensive if you do it using different methods. So I wanted to show you guys how to do it with the Unique in the Creek frame to save you a lot of money on supplies and time. Doing it with Unique in the Creek board, you will save so much time, like you wouldn't even believe it. So just trust me. Actually, if you want to try it on a straw frame or a foam frame and then the Unique in the Creek board, please do so and let me know because I've done it before and it takes a long time and a lot of bunches of tulips. Now with the Unique in the Creek board, we are going to be using 8 bunches of these tulips, and they're at Michael's, so they're starting to be being put out at all the Michael's about now. Mine just put them out, and I'm here in Canada, and they were buy one get one free this week. So I grabbed some. So each bunch is $5 Canadian. I'm not sure what it is in the US. It doesn't say on here. But so that means I paid about $2.50 a bunch, okay? And each bunch is going to be used in 4 pieces, will be used in each hole. Okay, so what I'm doing on this board is I bought some cream colored tulips, and then I bought the greenish lime yellow colored tulips. I love this color combination for spring. It's one of my favorite. And then I'm going to be showing you how to make a really cool hanger with this polyjute ribbon. So we'll do that at the end. So what I've done is I've pre-done most of my tulips, and I left a couple bunches just to show you guys what I've done. So on each bunch of tulips, when you go to buy them, and Dave laughed at me for doing this, but make sure when you buy them, you're checking that each stem has the tulips on them, okay? You're paying a lot of money for these, and you don't want to get home and be shorted like 2 stems of tulips, because that'll short you on making the wreath. So I made sure, even though I bought a ton of these, I made sure that I went through each single bunch, and Dave helped me, and made sure that there was tulips on each stem. Okay, so do that in the store when you do go in. And if they don't have one on a stem, pick another one and make sure it does have it on the stem. Or if they're running really low, pull from other ones. Do what you have to, but get your money's worth because they are expensive. Okay, and another thing with the tulips is that they slip off quite easy off the stem. Okay, so I like to hit it with a little bit of hot glue up near the base and the actual wire to so they don't pop off. Now these pop off fairly easy, but only if you actually pull them. So once you got your wreath made, you pretty much won't have to fool around or fuss with it, so you won't pull the tulips off. If, however, you feel that you need to have these tulips stay in place, you will have to put a little bit of hot glue on each single one. And then I just pulled this one. Okay, so, but I didn't really think I felt the need. I only wanted to make sure the whole bunch didn't fall off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push because I want these leaves and these long greeneries to go into my wreath as well to give it some more color and stuff. So we want to use everything on this bush. So I push all the stuff near the top of the base here, and then with your wire cutters, just snip. And you're leaving about 2 inches of a stem. So you're going to snip them right off the whole base. Now this is garbage. Now what you're going to do is I push this down just a little bit. You take your hot glue, and I put a paper here so I don't get glue all over my cutting board. But just put a little bit of glue, just a dab, push that up, the greenery, and then put it to the side. Okay, and you're going to do, now some of it has 3 pieces, so 1, 2, 3. I just put a little bit of glue at each. I only did one side because if it's going to come off, well, it really won't come off. Once you glue it just on the one side, it's not going to come off. I've already pulled and tried to get them off, and they didn't come off. So you'd have to really pull really hard to get these off. So what I did is I did all my bushes, so I had 8, because there's 16 sets of holes. And we're doing 4 stems per each hole, and each bush has 8 stems. So when you're doing the normal like straw frame or styrofoam frame, which I must add are quite expensive themselves, you need about 14 or 15 bushes. So just to let you know. Okay, so I've done 1 bush. So now I do 1 more. So take your sticker off. Now they have all kinds of beautiful colors right now, and you guys have seen my tutorials on how I've used roses for my Valentine one. I used light, like mauve pinkish roses to make one for Lolly's room. So you can pretty much use any kind of these kind of flowers on the board really easy. And like I said, these are very, very, well, they're costly and they're time consuming. So if you can cut down on the time, you'll probably sell, you'll get more money, your bang for your buck when you're selling it, because this will only take about an hour to make rather than 4 hours the traditional way. And it's really, once we get assembling, it's really easy. You know, you could use multiple colors and still everything will look nice and symmetrical. So I could even add, you could add 3 or 4 colors if you want. I wanted to keep this simple. I like simple things, and this color combination is my ultimate favorite for spring. Especially when you start to add like the burlap in the color in the thing. It's just, well, you guys will see. It's really, really pretty. Okay, so we're all glued up. Just double check them all. I check them as I'm putting them in as well. Okay, so we're just gonna put these to the side. So I've done all the cream colored ones as well, and I just have them in a bag beside me. So I'll put the green ones here, and I will leave the ivory ones in the bag. Okay, so we're not done with our glue gun, so don't shut your glue gun down. So now what you're going to do is you take your board. Now I'm using the character board, and as you can see, I've started this already. Look how pretty. This is just a simple digital insert that I've made. It's just like almost like a creamish color background with just a green welcome. Something really simple that matches the design I'm going for. And then you're going to preload your zip ties. Right now I'm using 6.5-inch zip ties. And you can use between 6 and 9-inch zip ties as long as the strength of the zip tie is 18 pounds. Okay, so tensile strength, 18 pounds. That's all you need. And it doesn't really matter about the length of them. Well, it does. You wouldn't want to use anything less than 5 inches in length, because once you get to the 4 inches, you're really struggling to make the loop big enough to stick your stuff in, and it's going to take you more time. So we don't want to do that. So we are using row number 2 only of the character board. Okay, so I've Mod Podged my digital center. So you can, there's various digital centers. I'll be working on a lot more. So you can pick one. So your sign and your frame become all one, which is really handy. But you can change up your centers of what you want in your center. I liked this plain welcome for a simple spring everyday wreath. Okay, so I got all my zip ties loaded. And if you need to know how to Mod Podge and how to use our digital centers, we do have tutorials on how to do that. So I'm not going to go through all that right now. And same with the zip tie. Well, I'll do a quick zip tie. The zip tie has a concave and a flat side on the head. What you do is we're going to always put the tail of the zip tie through the flat side of the zip tie head, and you'll hear a zip sound, and you won't be able to open it. Okay, that's how you use the zip tie. If you try and do it wrong, it's kind of hard to do it wrong, but if you do it wrong, you won't hear any zipping noise and it will come undone. Okay, so I've been doing a color scheme here of cream, the green, yellow, cream, green, yellow, cream, green, yellow. So you could even add a third color. I was thinking about adding some pink in there, but then I thought, you know, for tutorial's sake, I'm just going to leave it nice and simple. So you can see how pretty it is just using two simple springy colors. Now on the stems, there is some stems that have these long pointy things and some stems that don't. So we are going to put 4 each. So 4 pieces each into our zip tie. So what I was doing was I was taking one stem that had the long pointy feathery things, and then 2 that have none, and then the third one on the outside, again like that. So this is the bunch that we're going to be putting in here. So again, I put one pick or stem that has the pointy things, 2 that just are plain, and then 1 on the other side with the other pointy thing, and kind of facing the side. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take this whole bunch. Now what I like to do is the bottom of the stem here where it's slid on, if you match all them up, so I don't know if you can see that, all 4 are matched up. Even though these are longer, I want these 4 matched up, and I'm going to stick it in my zip tie. So I'll zip it as close as I can, and then slide your stems down so that edge that we were using is right in front of the zip tie. Okay, and then you can move them around if you want. Okay, so I've kind of put the green leaves near the back so we don't have so many green leaves in the front there. Okay, then you're going to take your wire cutters. I get a little container to put your zip tie stems in or whatever else you cut. So once you got it in your zip tie, you're also now going to hit it with some hot glue again, just on the board and over top of the stems. This is to prevent the stems from coming out of the zip tie should it fall off the door or whatever, and it also keeps everything in place of where you want it to be. Okay, so now you can start gathering up your cream colored ones. So I'm going to do exactly the same. So 1 with the feathery thing, 2 with none, and then the outside one with the feathery thing. I match up all my stems here as much as I can. Kind of line it up, and there we go. Just like that. And that's all we're doing for the whole wreath. That's why I said it's very simple doing it with our boards. And then you're just going to... So I would love for you guys to try the traditional way that people are doing it, and then try our way. Just so you guys can see just how, well, you could probably see just how easy it is now with me doing it. But it really is very easy, and you can see how you can control how many tulips you're actually using. Because like I said, these are not cheap. They're fairly expensive. And you want to get as much money out of your sale as possible. So, and these sell for quite a bit of money on Etsy. So check out the market for these. They're very, very popular. As you can see, they're very pretty. But the traditional way is very time consuming and you use a lot of supplies. Now, if you wanted to do really, really fancy, you could take a flower board and cover the whole thing and make a whole solid one, but that would cost probably a pretty penny. I like the simple little sign in the center, and yeah, look so pretty. And then once we add the bow, which I'll show you, we're not actually adding the bow to the wreath. We're going to actually add it as the hanging where we're going to hang it from. Okay, try and keep organized here. Okay, next, cream. So we need 4 cream. So doing your prep ahead of time will help you, oh, this one's not glued, help you a lot. So when I was doing my prep here, I was actually watching a movie. No, I was actually watching a Facebook Live, and cutting and gluing. So I wasn't sitting at the table very long. I like to do as much as I can on my lap due to my back issues. Now, probably easier to put these in, these zip ties, tighten them up before you try and put these in. This is a wonky one. And I lost 2 up here. There we go. Now just push it down so because as you can see, as you layer them, you don't see the stems. There we go. I'm going to have to cut this. And cut this. And then put some glue. I use Gorilla Glue for my hot glue sticks, and I trust Gorilla Glue. I've been using it for a long time and I've never had anything fall off or have any problems. So I wouldn't recommend using a cheap dollar store glue sticks or anything, just because you don't know how they're gonna hold up. But I know for a fact that the Gorilla Glue works very well. So boy, this is pretty. I'm not a floral type of person, but I'm really gonna think I'm gonna love this wreath. So again, line up your 4 base stems there right before the zip tie. And you can fool around and move things around once your wreath is finished. You just won't be able to pull out any of the stems, but you'll be able to move around the wreaths and make sure your tulips are at the front, because you don't want your tulips hiding when you spend all this money on them. Okay, give it a good whack of hot glue so that is not going anywhere. And now we have cream. So I would suggest only buying your tulips when they do have a really good sale. Like I said, right now at my Michael's here in Canada, they are buy one, get one free, which is pretty good considering Canada is expensive for everything. So you need 8 bunches, and you're going to split those bunches into, you'll get 2 sections per bunch. So if you're looking at, $5 times 4. So $20 in tulips. And then your center and your board. And I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that these are selling, and theirs are smaller. Now this is going to be about 16 inches, which is a very good size for a tulip wreath. And they're selling, the smaller ones are selling for, I think I've seen about $80 to $90. So they're a good money maker, but like they are expensive to make though. And that's why people are selling them so expensive. But people just love their tulips. What can you do? Okay, we're doing green. Got all my everything right to the zip tie there. Pull it tight. Usually I use my needle nose pliers to tighten it. You can use your wire cutters to snip that. And we have 2 more sections to go, and it will be all filled in. So if you do know somebody that loves to make these tulip wreaths, make sure you share this video with them, just for to save them money and time. Like, I'm not even kidding when I'm saying it's really time consuming the other way. Okay, cream. We're almost done. 2, 4. Okay, so 1, 2. Oh, 2, 3, 4. I think adding a little bit of pink or blue in here would have been really pretty as well. Just to break it up, but I don't know, this screams spring to me. And I've always loved these 2 colors for spring. All right, we're on our last one. This one seems to be really long. Just trim it up a bit. So we got 1 more right here. And then we're done. Well, I'll show you how to make the hanger. And I didn't spray, I forgot to spray the center. But if you're doing the decoupaging and you may want to, once your Mod Podge is dried, even though it is a sealant on its own, I like to seal it as well with a Krylon sealer spray. There's a tulip, I can't find where it went. A matte. That way, if there is any water or mildew or whatever, your sign is not going to get all messed up. Okay, so we got 1, 2. I have extra here. I did buy an extra bunch just in case, but I'm not going to need it. I wasn't sure if I was going to put 4 or 5. Now you could put more in as well if you want it fuller. You could put even a whole bunch in, like the whole bunch in there if you want. Totally up to you. Especially if you can get the tulips cheap. Now I've used 5 flowers from Dollar Tree to make these wreaths, like roses and stuff, and they worked just fine. I don't know if Dollar Tree sells the tulips. I don't think they do. But, and now we'll get this little glue in there. All right, and we are done. So I'm going to go around and look how full. Now, you could use the outside holes as well, and look at your back is nice and neat. You could add some more tulips to the outside, but I don't feel it's necessary for what I'm going for right now, so I like the look it has, just like it is. Okay, you want to tuck, make a nice circle so it doesn't look like it's all wonky. I want your tulips all going the same way, and there's no spots showing. Okay, so we're done our wreath. It's absolutely, I love it. Make sure this last one here, you can't see the zip tie. So some of the tulips are a little longer than the others. You can put the longer ones in the back, towards the back. Okay, so now I'm going to make a bow, and I'm going to use the bow for hanging purposes. So what I'm going to do is, now you can use burlap, you can use ribbon, you can use whatever you want. I'm just going to make a hand-tied bow, and just a burlap one, just that really screams summer or spring to me. So you can use your bow maker or whatever you have to make your bow, but I'm just going to make a hand-tied one. So, and I'm going to get a zip tie because I like to use zip ties. Okay, so you're going to make the start of your bow. Actually, I don't want to make it too big. And I really like this Deco Mesh ribbon. This is 2.5 inch. I loved using this. I love using this stuff because it really holds its shape nicely, and it's waterproof, right? So we got water resistant. So I'm going to twist it and make a loop. Okay, twist it again, make another loop. I think I'll just make 3 loops for this bow. Nothing fancy. Okay, that all looks matching to me. I'm going to take I don't want too big of tails. Okay, so you take your ribbon, bring it down, and come back with it. So you're going to turn it, kind of make a U with it, and bring it back up. Okay, and I'm going to zip tie this whole thing together, and make sure all your loops and your tails are within the zip tie. And like I said again, you can use a bow maker if you want. Oh, see, I did well, it's good I made a mistake because I didn't make sure my tail that I was bringing up was in my zip tie. But that's okay. Fixing's easy, as you can just see. All right, now we got it. Okay, so I'm going to pull this nice and tight. And I don't want the head of it in the front. So put it in the back. Okay, and I'm going to cut this off of the roll. Okay, and then there's my tails. Okay, so once you have your bow, like I said, I just wanted a very simple hand tied. It's not even, but it's just a simple looking bow. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach another piece of, sorry, thinking my thoughts are, so I'm making like a, just cut a piece and I'm making a loop, and I'm going to put this loop, I'm going to attach it to the bow. Now I'm sure there's probably an easier way to do this, but when I was doing the tulip, thinking about the tulip wreath, the bow hanger was a last minute thing, so I put a zip tie through the back. Now this is actually going to be what we're going to hang our wreath from. Okay, so what I've done is just taken that strip, put it together, pinch it, put it up on your bow on the back, and you're going to take that zip tie that you put in the back and zip tie it up. And pull it nice and tight. Cut that off. Now I'm going to cut off these. And I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on the back here. You won't see it, but just so if this were to let go, it won't, you'd still be okay. It won't come apart. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another zip tie, and you're going to find your hanging holes, which are 2 holes at the front on your board, and they don't match anything. I'm going to, and they're actually beveled, chamfered. So I'm going to go down and back up with my zip tie there. And I'm going to have the center of this loop in the middle. So I've put the center of my bow, the loop, not the, here's my little tails that I made. So it's not the tails, it's just this actual. Now I think this is the length I want it. I'm not sure. That's too long. It's good enough. So this is how long the bow will be from the actual wreath. Yeah, I think that's good enough. So you want to do it to from the front because we don't want to, we want the tulips to cover this zip tie and stuff up. So I'm going to pull this, cut it, okay, and then we'll put our tulips back over top. It's not really, once you hang it, it'll get, and it pulls, you'll get the center, so it's not, when you hang it, it's not wonky. There we go. And I like my tails. I dovetailed. I'm just one of those type of people. I like that. Okay, now if this zip tie is bugging you because you can see it, you can take a piece of twine and wrap it around the zip tie, which I'll probably do. I just don't have twine with me. Let's see if I can fold this. Or you can just roll up a piece of, oh, actually that looks good. Roll up a piece of the deco mesh that you used to make the bow. This is just a scrap piece I had. And I'm going to put some glue on the back and just hold it down. And this is just to cover the zip tie, or you can take just jute or twine and wrap it around your zip tie as well. Burn yourself. These are so handy. Dollar Tree. Finger guards for glue. You could use real burlap. That would be really pretty too for your bow. Okay, now I'm going to put another dab of glue here and bring it up and hold it down. So there, look how pretty that little bow is. Now when you do your wreaths, make sure you put some kind of sticker or even tape a business card or whatever to the back of your wreath. Tape it, if you're going to use a business card, tape it on as well as you can so it's hard to take off. Because if somebody purchases this wreath and one of their friends comes over and says, "Oh, what a beautiful wreath, where did you get it?" They can quickly just flip the wreath over and give them the information without having to go look on their computer and stuff like that. I know when I was making wreaths, that was a really, really good selling tool for me when I was using the boards, because the normal frames, you can't really put anything on the back unless you're using felt or something. Okay, and there is my tulip wreath with a hand-tied bow. I got some strings here. Okay, this paper, and that's it. So, as you can see, you can make one of these very, very easily, as long as you have a glue gun. You get some tulips, or you don't even have to use tulips, whatever flower that you love, lavender or whatever, and just zip them right in. Make sure you glue and make sure they're stable so that they don't come apart should it fall off the door. And you can make a nice hanger, and this will be used to hang right from the door, just like that. Okay, thank you for joining me, and I'm going to take some pictures, and you guys can see the finished product. Okay, thanks for joining me. Again, www.uniqueinthecreek.com, and this is the character frame. Thanks, guys.